ระหว่างที่อัดคลิปวิดีโอทำวิดีโอต่างๆก็มาเจอคลิปดีๆอยู่คลิปหนึ่งนะครับเป็นคลิปที่เอาไว้ใส่เสียงหรือว่าอัดเสียงเราระหว่างที่เราจะเรนเดอร์วิดีโอที่เราถ่ายทำมานะครับโดยการนำเสียงเข้ามาอยู่ในวิดีโอของเราโดยที่เราไม่ต้องไปใช้โปรแกรมเสริมใดๆลองไปฟังเสียงดูนะครับ
So you have to set up one thing, and then once that's set up, we're set ready to go. Now you can use any microphone. I happen to be using a blue snowflake here. You could even use the built-in microphone in your laptop for a quick temp track, or you could even use this for annotating a video to send off to someone else. So we'll set this up and we'll begin to record. You do have to have the audio portion of your computer correctly set up. So usually the microphone is okay, but if you have a separate interface, you need to set up. I'll show you where that is and we'll get recording. All right. First, I'm going to go into my preferences. It's in the Edit menu on Windows. It's in the Premiere Pro menu on Mac. And I'm going to choose Audio Hardware. And here I'm using the built-in sound for Premiere Pro in Windows. And I'm going to click on my ASIO settings. And this is where the blue snowflake microphone shows up. Of course, I could use my internal microphone. I'm going to leave all the settings where they are and click OK and click OK. Now my microphone is set up. Next is the important part, which is exposing a new control. What's important is I want to show you that there are 4 separate areas to the timeline. And I find that this is an area where people get confused because actually it's not easy to really see where one area ends. There's 4 areas. There's the header area, and that header area has a video section on the top and an audio section on the bottom. And then of course in the timeline on the right hand side we have our video tracks on the top and audio tracks on the bottom. To get this next setting, there's 2 ways to do it. I can click here on the little wrench and choose Customize Audio Header, or I can right click inside this area inside here. And you can open these areas up in several ways. You can click and drag this area down in here. You can double click on this area to open that up, or you can use the scroll wheel on your mouse if you happen to have a wheel on the mouse. If you right click inside here and choose Customize, you'll notice that we automatically open that area up for you. And here you can customize your layout and bring in different controls. For instance, you can bring in a track meter and a pan left and right balance. This microphone up here is what we want to bring in. And it's also a little bit difficult to see, but there are 3 different levels inside here. And I like to drag the voiceover record down to the top level in here. And if you let go, and it successfully drops inside here, then you've done the right thing. You can continue to drag more of them in here and click OK. The reason I like it in the top is you'll notice that I can see it even when the track is closed. Now the next thing you need to do is set up the volume level. And normally the volume level for a microphone, especially on a laptop microphone, they're set usually okay, but it's a good idea to test that just in case something is wrong. And you need to test that down in here, a really easy way. Again, back in here and right click, and you can see it says voice over record settings. And when I select that, I get a little pop-up window, and you can see the green is going here, and if I clap a bit here, boom, boom, you can see that it's obviously recording my voice. You can give it a default name. Right now the default is Audio 1, but maybe you wanted to give this something a little bit more descriptive. You can also come in here and choose the same settings that we had before in the audio hardware settings. The only thing is that some of those settings won't show up unless they're correctly set as I showed you. So if you just go in here and you don't see something, go back into your audio hardware setup in preferences. You can also have countdown sound cues. That's where it's beeping as it's counting. We're not going to have those. And you're going to have a pre-roll of 3 seconds. And what's important about this pre-roll of 3 seconds is I'm going to be starting at the beginning. So when it pre-rolls, the playhead isn't moving. But if you're starting to record your voiceover later in the timeline, as soon as you hit record, if you leave it on 3 seconds, the playhead will actually physically move back 3 seconds and roll in. This is a great way to prepare you for that voiceover recording, to get into that moment that you need to start the voice. And then a post roll of 2 seconds. And you can turn either of these off. And I'll click close. The next thing to do is to actually click on this little microphone. And when you do that, watch up here in this window, you'll see a countdown and you'll see the word record, and down in our microphone, it will turn red. And the whole time I'm recording, I'll be recording down here into the timeline. And you won't see a sound wave. So don't worry, don't stop recording because you don't see a sound wave. We wait till we finish recording, and we stop, and then we draw an image of the sound wave. And just so that you know, if you're not familiar with the whole process of sound waves are not inherent in the recording. A recording doesn't have a picture of what the sound wave looks like. All applications, Premiere Pro included, has to draw that after it reads the sound wave. So we're doing it when we finish. All right, we get ready. I'm going to hit record. It counts down 3, 2, 1. And now I'm recording my voiceover. And you hear what's happening. Let me hear the stop. Oh boy. First big problem. I don't have a pair of headphones on, and I have my speakers on. Typical problem, I'm going to have some feedback. So the feedback is going to occur because the speakers are playing what I'm recording while I'm recording at the same time. So you have a few choices in here. You can use a pair of headphones, which shut off the speakers in your laptop. Or if you're using a larger system with an interface, you can turn that audio down. But if we go back to our preferences, audio, not audio hardware, we can turn on mute input during timeline recording. Oh, okay. This is going to be much better. So let me select that and delete it. And you'll notice that the clip is over here on the left-hand side, audio 1. And I'm going to delete that out of there. And I'm going to start again. So let's try this again. 3, 2, 1. And now I'm beginning to record, and I'm watching this gymnast do some absolutely crazy things on the pommel horse. And we go to some amazing slow motion capture, all shot on the Arri Alexa camera. Beautifully done, wonderfully shot, and playing back here in real time. And I hit the stop button. Now, I told you that we draw the waveform, and you're probably looking down here saying, where's the waveform? Well, we have a little skinny track. Remember, 3 different ways. Click or drag to make that bigger, or double click on it, or use the scroll wheel. And there it is. I'll go back in here and hit play. And now I'm beginning to record, and I'm watching this gymnast do some absolutely crazy. So that's a great way to do it when you want to automatically turn off the sound. Remember, I started recording and you got all that feedback. So it will automatically turn itself off, and then will automatically turn itself back on when I'm finished recording. That's the easy, great way to set up Premiere Pro CC 2014 to record a voiceover. Now, last thing I'll leave you with is, if you're looking at these waveforms, and these are called rectified waveforms, you'll notice that they have a certain look. They start from the bottom and go up. Just to let you know, if you want to, you can turn off these waveforms. So rectified audio waveforms, turn that off, and you go back to the old style waveform. So whatever you choose to look at and edit, you're fine. And if we want, we could now chop this up into different parts, and I can start to move this around on the timeline. So I've got unbelievable control to re-record, record, move these around, cut, and record brand new voiceovers directly in the timeline of Premiere Pro.